Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video we're going to be taking a look at October's mobile revenue estimates, as it is now the 1st of November. So this is always just estimated numbers, but it gives you a good idea of how well your games are performing, especially with regards to big banner units that may have come out, and to see if it's continuing to be in a positive trend or a negative trend, depending on the game. I don't really like to look at everything. I like to kind of look at some of the high-up ones, as well as the games that I currently play or have played in the past. And that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and get right in it. The big ones I'm looking for are like Umamusume. We just had Chaos Zero Nightmare come out. I want to see how they did on their release. We have Girls Frontline 2 that I really want to see. Make sure see how it's holding up. As well as Nikke. As Nikke is the 3rd anniversary. It just started, but it just started. So I don't think it's really had a huge impact yet. It'll probably be more November, say, than October for them. But let's just go ahead and get in the numbers. We'll look at more than just those games, though. I mean, we have Genshin Impact, which is usually at the top, but it's not as high as it's been. We've had the top be over 100 million before. I mean, mobile revenue overall has just been general lower on average the last couple months. We'll kind of have to see how that goes, but still pretty good amount. I mean, Genshin Impact is still going strong. The strongest of the Hoyoverse games, it looks like now, especially since Honkai Star Rail has fallen down quite a bit. I mean, you got Love and Deep Space, Pokemon. I mean, they've been doing quite well. Fate Grand Order is like the best performing older game, alongside Arknights, which Arknights Infield, I will be playing that when it comes out. Now, I have not officially gotten into the second beta yet, and probably won't, because, I mean, it seems like it's kind of random, and some people I've already seen have been accepted into it. Now, I was in the first one, so I'm not too concerned about participating in that. I'll just be able to react to other people. I've already got a feel for the game. Now, I know they're going to have a lot more improvements. But, I mean, when it comes to betas for me, I play them for a few hours just to get a feel for them, get the mechanics down, make like a video or two. I can do that without actively playing it. I can kind of see what people are seeing with the improvements from the last one. I more care about when they actually release the game. That's what's big for me, because I don't really care about playing heavily into a beta, because I know that data is getting deleted. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Arknights Infield, one of the big ones I'm waiting for. Most likely coming out next year now that we're getting more news on it. Honkai Star Rail falling all the way down to 22 million. I haven't kept up with this game at all ever since I've quit. I think we're getting to the end of the 3rd planet. I forget the name of it. So they probably are going to have a big banner this month, I guess. So I would expect them to go up, and that would be a reason why it's probably lower this month. But I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to that too much. Then we got Umamusume, down from 23 million to 16. Trying to think of the banners. It wasn't Super Creek on the last one. But we did have... so this one was Summer Maruzensky this month. And I think a lot of people... I mean, it's down a little bit, but I think because she was not like a big must pull. And I think me, and I've seen with a lot of other content creators, we did push that while she's very good, she's going to be very hard to build. So I wonder if a lot of people took advice to that. It's still a respectable amount of money for the month, but we'll have to kind of see how we go into now the second scenario. The one big thing we'll have with Umamusume is every time a new scenario comes out, they're going to throw a bunch of pulls at us. There's going to be a bunch of big banners. So if there's any time that people are going to be wanting to whale, it's going to be kind of this time frame. We just had the nice nature support card drop. We're going to have Rico drop here at the Unity Cup. And then actually another one nice right after it, Biko Pegasus. So I expect it to probably stay around this month. I don't know. I mean, we've probably had the people now that get past the honeymoon phase, where we're probably going to start to stabilize around this range, which is very, very good. And then we'll have the spikes every time there's a new scenario. It's kind of what I expect with Umamusume. And we'll just have to kind of see what happens with November in the second scenario here. Wuthering Waves moving down a little bit. Have not kept it all up at all with it since I quit it. Still a pretty good amount. Euro Games is, I mean, I'm looking forward to when they make another game out there. I just didn't really have time for it, and I knew I was going to have to quit it at some point, primarily because, I mean, Umamusume right now is just taking all my time up. But then we have like Chaos Zero Nightmare, and then we have all the big open worlds I'm looking forward to, like Azure Premilia, Ananta, and Arknights Infield. So that's why I ended up having to drop it, just knowing I don't have the time for it when I know there's other games that'll take priority over it for me. But really love the game. It really good systems they have. Then we have Goddess of Victory Nikke. So down from 18 to 13 million. So it is the half anniversary, but it literally just started. And if anything, the people are going to spend more this month than last month because the first pilgrim is where everybody pretty much has to dump all their pulls, and then they're going to be out of pulls or potentially their pity. And so the second pilgrim unit will be coming out this month. And so I suspect people will be have less pulls for her. And I think she's the one that's I've heard a lot more people liking the second one coming out more so, as well as we have all the skins and stuff, depending on people are going to buy the skin in the gacha or not. But I fully expect it to probably be up in November, just because half anniversary literally just started, so it really hasn't had time to get all of the money it's going to make in. So I expect this to go up this month. Zenless Zone Zero, moving up a little bit. That's always good. I mean, it's a Hoyoverse game. They're always going to usually be above that 10 million mark. Definitely one of their lower performing games. I really liked the game, especially when Miyabi came out. She was so fun to play. It's a similar situation to Wuthering Waves. I just had to cut a bunch of games because I had too much coming up. And so I ended up dropping it, just preparing for future games. And, but yeah, overall, pretty good there. Don't really know much about that. Etheria Restart doubling. Man, they must have had a big unit or something come out. I did see one video on it, like currently there's a really broken unit that might have just did come out. So I'm guessing that might be what it is. Especially because one of the things that Etheria Restart was very time consuming for me. It's the reason I had to quit. It was definitely, I have to really, really, really like the game, like I do with Umamusume, to kind of put in the time investment that I want to put, like having like that main game. And that's what Etheria Restart kind of felt like to me. It's like the main game that you're going to be playing with the time investment, which isn't a bad thing. It's just you can't do multiple of those types. But overall, it was a pretty good game, and I'm guessing they've made some significant improvements, and as well as a big unit that probably has made the PvE a lot easier overall. Because that was one of the biggest things that I struggled with, and I just didn't have the time to keep up with it. Kind of going down here. Oh, there's Chaos Zero Nightmare opening up to a respectable $6 million. I mean, this one wasn't one of the big ones. I didn't see it like being heavily as advertised, but 6 million is still pretty good overall. And that is, yeah, it's basically split between iOS and Android here. So really loving the game. I will be probably playing a little bit of it on stream here actually soon after the upload of this video. I'll be kind of catching up on the Nikke anniversary. Probably do some Chaos Zero Nightmare. One thing I really like about it is it's going to be a little bit more of a time-consuming game too. Similar to Umamusume, because you have like the chaos runs where you're building your deck with the roguelike, which kind of works similar. I kind of like to compare it to a career in Umamusume, where you're running through the darkest dungeon type roguelike, and that's how you kind of build up your deck or your character for doing the other content. And just like the career in Umamusume, you're going to want to run this multiple times until you get that perfect deck with the perfect gear on your characters and all that. It's definitely not gonna be as time consuming as Umamusume, but it's very similar in that aspect. But overall, it's really fun to play when you're doing it. It can take a lot of your time, especially if it's like your main gacha game currently. But good to see that they're doing quite well for being like a smaller, to me, not one of the big hyped up ones this year. So overall, pretty good there. Kind of going down. Let's see. Azure Lane. I know Azure Premilia is one of my most anticipated for myself, Azure Premilia. And so while I've never played Azure Lane, I have definitely seen their figures and some of their some of the graphics they have in that game. Definitely a big fan service game. Really wish I would have actually tried it out. I've been told though the gameplay is not all that good. It's more of the fan service on it. Hoping that Azure Premilia can build on that with the open world concept. And because Azure Premilia very well could be my like main open world game. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of them coming out, and I know just having played Wuthering Waves that there's no way I can maintain like Arknight's Infield, Ananta, Azure Premilia, I think Silver Bullet, and then we have the Nikke one that there's not much information on, but it's like Project Witches or something. That's another one. Now they're not all coming all at once, but I'm going to have so much time that I can keep up with all of them, especially since I don't think anything's going to be able to replace Umamusume for me, and the fact that most gacha games PvP is just not good at all. Like Umamusume is like the only one where I've really liked the PvP. and kind of the roguelike and the continuous with the champions meetings. So when it comes to just having a good, fun, generic gacha game, there's only like one or two that I can maintain alongside that. We have, let's see, so we have that one. Trying to see if there's any others that I've kind of covered here. Wizardry doing pretty good as well. I've heard good things on it, never tried it though. It didn't look good to me. I didn't really like the graphics, it kind of turned me off on it. But I've heard respectable things about it, that it's a pretty good game overall. It's nice to see they're doing well. But don't know anything about it other than I've heard good things. Brown Dust 2 is a game I had people tell me I should try just because of I'm playing all the waifu ones with the heavy fan service, and Brown Dust 2 is way up there. It's like the closest one to an H anime game. Yeah. I don't really like to go into really old games. And that is, well, not old, but a game that's been out for a little bit where I'm already way too far behind. Nikke was kind of different because everybody talked about how great the story was, and then someone gave me an account for it. But generally, I don't really like going back. Once I quit a game, I don't really go back to it. Unless I have a very good reason to. Got Persona. Still doing over 2 million here, but I think that's including everyone. So global. I quit this one very early on when I tried playing it, and it was just because it was very story focused, and this came out at the exact time as Umamusume, so you can kind of tell why I couldn't keep up with that game. Because as soon as Umamusume released, I didn't have time for anything else. I tried to balance the two. I tried playing through the story, and I kept just going, you know what, I want to go back and start grinding in Umamusume now. It was that the launch I was playing like all day, every day for like a month or two straight, and so I could not. I had to quit this one like very early on, so I don't know enough about it. But I've heard some positive things, heard some negative, that Global's not getting treated as well, but I think they've improved on that. Girls Frontline 2, man, down a little bit more, just under 2 million. Trying to think of the units. We just had Florence come out. Was Nikita this? I don't think Nikita was last month. I think she might have been the month prior, or at least she came out the month prior. So I know a lot of people viewed Florence as an easier skip, especially when we'll have like Leva coming up here soon, Voimastina, like the big ones that you want to invest in for dupes because they're the big damage dealers. So I mean, it's still, I would like to see them at least stay over 2 million. But kind of looking at it, Global's still carrying at 300,000. And then you have 600,000. Yeah, Global's like the main one carrying the game. So, because let's see, where's the CN version's down to like just over 500,000. So, still doing okay. But it's starting to fall a little bit. But hopefully they can improve here. I mean, I know we just got the EX mode, so people are actually having a challenge within the game. Again, outside of Gunsmoke Frontline. We'll see how that continues to improve over time. But it's still, I mean, it gets really scary when it gets under that 1 million mark. But even then, a lot of games do quite well, even under that, which you can kind of see down here. Let's see, any more that kind of pick up on here that I've played. Let's see. Oh, Punishing Gray Raven, another Kuro game. Never played it. I did get a figure that I got. This is like normally a $300 figure that's from Punishing Gray Raven, but they had it on discount of buy one, get one free for $99. So I effectively got like a $200 to $300 figure for $50. We got 2 of them. My wife has one upstairs as well. Don't know much about the game other than she was in it, and I really like Wuthering Waves. So I was like, looks cool. I'm going to get it. But I don't know much about the game at all or the characters, but they look cool. I mean, the figure looks cool. And still holding about there. And it's a little bit older of a game, so still pretty good to hold at around that 1 million mark. Sword of Convallaria. I mean, it was below 1 million like a few months ago, and I think it had a resurgence over 1 million or so. So it's still holding pretty steady. Like it's stable, and this is plenty enough. So hopefully it doesn't keep going down. But this is the first game that kind of got me into content creation. The first game I covered got like my first 200-300 viewers off of it before I kind of blew up on Girls Frontline 2. and then it now blew up even more in Umamusume. Really fun game if you like the Final Fantasy Tactics type games. It's just one of those things you gotta eventually move on when you're trying out other gachas. I can only play so many, but I have the idea that eventually, if I get big enough, I can always have someone that manages my accounts for me, and they basically play for me, and then I can maybe cover more. But even then, it's still fairly hard to keep up with everything that's happening. I think they're having a collab coming up here soon, so we'll have to kind of see what happens with that. Final Fantasy Record. Oh, Final Fantasy Record Keeper's still out. This is like the very first gacha I ever played. I know it died on Global, but this is probably the very first gacha I ever played. It's a pretty old game. I just remember when it first came out, I think Sephiroth was like the first unit or the first banner unit, and I pulled and got him in like a single pull alongside his weapon, the Musume, and was just dominating the game for a little bit. But I was in the military at that time, and then I just couldn't keep up with it because I had other things like that in college to deal with. And then I didn't play a gacha game again until like Honkai Star Rail. Well, I didn't play any didn't dedicate a lot of time to one until Honkai Star Rail came out. Then Lost Sword. Lost Sword kind of fallen a little bit. Lost Sword has one. I've quit this game just recently because the Chaos Zero Nightmare. Really like the game. It's very good for an idle, but idle games I have found now do not do very well on content creation because there's not much to cover, other than you cover like the new character here and there. It's very easy to maintain. Like if I wanted to, I could continue to maintain it, but I just don't want to have to deal with thinking about more than 4 or 5 gacha games. And that's the thing. I don't want to have to think about, oh, I need to get on and do my 5 to 10 minutes dailies. And so I kind of had to drop it because of that. But still, really good game. The one problem it has is they're very generous. I have maxed limit break or max dupes of like everything I need. And then they just keep handing out currencies and free selectors, and like I just have so much in that game that there's no reason to spend is kind of the thing there. So they're still doing a good amount, especially for like I said, not having a heavy incentive to spend. I think the biggest reason you want to spend on that game, if you're going to spend, is to level up quicker and get to the higher content, because you're basically limited based on what your levels are, regardless of how strong your units are. So that's more of the incentive versus the characters, which I do really like. And they have skins as well. I know a lot of people that were playing it were buying the skins. Very good fan service, just not enough time to maintain it. Chaos Zero Nightmare basically replaced that one in my current games. And I think that might be the last one. I mean, I know... Let's see. I think there's a couple other games. Yeah, Ash Echoes right here. That was like the second game I covered. I got in the content creator program for it. It's gone up this month, which is good. I know they were struggling a little bit in the beginning. I think like Girls Frontline 2 is what pretty much took all my time away from this game when it came to covering it. And I just kind of blew up in Girls Frontline 2 for my size at the time. So it just took all my time in making the videos on that, and I just kind of fell behind on Ash Echoes. I really liked the game, but it was a little bit complex, I think, for a lot of people, and I think that turned people off a little bit, but definitely a great game. I haven't kept up with it at all, though, but it's good to see. I mean, it's over the 100,000 mark. I don't know if that's enough when it comes to the revenue side to maintain profits, but overall, fun game. Have no clue what's going on with it now, though. You have Girls Frontline, which is dropping from 93 to 65, the cockroach of gacha games. They say it's never going to die. But, yeah, I mean, no one's spending really money on it anymore. It's probably like one whale spending this kind of money. But we'll see what happens with that. I think they pretty much have gotten to the ending of that game anyway. I really wanted to try it. It's just one of those things of not enough time. So I've done more of just reading the story versus wanting to actually play it, but the gameplay actually looked kind of fun to me to a certain extent, but wish I would have played it when it originally came out. I would have probably loved it. I just wouldn't have had time back when it came out. That's pretty much everything I've covered. Black Beacon. Holy crap, that one came out only a few months ago and it's already pretty much done. I think this one is dying off. Memento White Shadow, I think, was another one. Um, let's see. Oh, Haze Reverb. This one I covered. I did like 2 videos on it, and I was like, yeah, it's very, very heavy fan service. That's all it had going for it. But I mean, hey, I don't know how much effort they have to put into it because they just make the really, really good fan service art. But the gameplay, I don't know how much effort's put into that. It's been a while since I played it, so I have no clue. But I barely have tried it. But yeah, fan service is great, but fan service can only take you so far in a game. The game's still got to be good. I mean, it's why I really like Nikke and Girls Frontline 2. I've loved the gameplay alongside the heavy fan service. They put those two together in a really cohesive, good game, and it's going to make good money. But you can't give up on the gameplay. And that's pretty much it. That is the numbers. Man, this video is a little bit longer than I was fully expecting. I generally just want to focus on my own. But yeah, overall, all my games seem to be doing quite well. Quite happy at where Umamusume is at. They're always going to attract new people in on their anniversaries. They're a very bursty company when it comes to giving out polls with each of the scenarios. So I expect probably a spike or at least a maintain this month with the new scenario dropping. And then I think this will be kind of their range of where they're at. They'll probably be in like that 15 million to 30 million range. I think the biggest area where they'll have a drop off will be make a new track, because that's when careers can take a lot longer and it's a hate it or love it or hate it type scenario. But that'll be the only area if there's any big drop offs. But I think every new scenario will see it shoot up just because of the new big banners and all that. But who knows? We'll have to see what happens with in November. But that'll be it for now. And if you like my content, if you like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.